Feel like everyone's talking about AI, but nobody seems to have a real plan? Yeah, you're not alone. But today, we're going to dive into something different, a really powerful framework from Dr. Rod King that's a genuine roadmap for this new AI age. And look, this isn't about just automating a few little tasks here and there. This is about a complete scalable strategy for how you can actually win.
And really, this is the most important place to start. The AI age isn't coming, it's already here. I mean, think about it. It's not some sci-fi concept anymore. It's already in your inbox, it's optimizing supply chains, it's talking to your customers. It is a present-day force, right now, reshaping our world. And the biggest risk? It's thinking you have more time to get ready than you actually do.
And let's be real, the stakes for getting this wrong are huge. Just think about it. Blockbuster, Kodak, Nokia. I mean, these were giants, right? They didn't fail because they suddenly started making bad products. They failed because the entire world shifted underneath their feet and they just weren't ready. That is the exact moment we're in right now with AI. And it really makes you wonder, who's going to be the next cautionary tale? All right, section 1, the AI is here. And let's just get this straight from the get-go. We are in the AI age, and treating AI like it's just another software upgrade or some side project, well, that's probably the single biggest mistake any leader can make right now. So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk about why the AI age is here. Then, we'll get into a new language for AI, break down the core ABC strategies, and see how the 9 Zoomable strategies actually work. We'll also cover the dangers of getting the balance wrong, and then wrap up with a playbook to get you started. Sound good? Let's go. Okay, next up, a new language for AI. You know, if we're going to build a real AI strategy, we have to start with a really fundamental problem, our language. Seriously, the words we use to talk about AI are often the very things holding us back from seeing what it can really do. And the difference here is really all about a mindset shift. The old way of talking is, well, it's transactional. It's all about features. Hey, we're using AI to automate reports. It's short-sighted. But the new language, it's strategic. It focuses on the job to be done. It forces us to ask a much better question. What jobs should AI actually be doing for our workflows? See the difference? It's a huge change from just thinking about tools to focusing on actual outcomes. All right, so let's get into the ABCs of AI strategy. How do we actually start building that strategic muscle? Well, it all starts with 3 simple, but believe me, incredibly powerful building blocks. Dr. King calls them the ABCs. Think of these as the 3 big moves you can make with AI. First up, you can automate, use AI to take over all that repetitive stuff. Next, you can bolster, which is all about using AI to augment, to supercharge your people's abilities. And finally, you can coordinate, using AI to align tasks, workflows, even entire ecosystems. So, automate, bolster, coordinate. These 3 levers, that's the first dimension of our roadmap. But here's the thing, a great strategy has to work everywhere, right? It needs to be zoomable. So that's our second dimension, scale. We can zoom way into the micro level. We're talking individuals, teams, tools, or we can pull back a bit to the meso level, the whole organization, processes, the entire enterprise. And then we can zoom all the way out to the macro level, supply chains, industries, whole ecosystems. And when you combine those ABCs with those 3 levels of scale, boom, you get this, the fractal grid. Now I know, it might look a little complex at first glance, but trust me, this is the heart of the entire framework. And it's called fractal for a reason. It's because the patterns that lead to success at that tiny micro level, they repeat themselves at the meso and even the macro levels. What this grid gives us is 9 distinct zoomable strategies. It's a complete coherent roadmap for the AI age. Okay, let's dive into the grid itself, the 9 zoomable strategies. This is where all those abstract ideas become real, concrete actions. First up, A is for automate. This is the one we're all pretty familiar with, right? And the goal is super simple. Let AI handle all that repetitive, low-value work so your people can focus their awesome brainpower on the stuff that actually needs a human. And you can see this in action at every single scale. At the micro level, think about an AI just handling an employee's boring weekly reports. Simple. Now zoom out to the meso level, and you're automating the entire company's compliance workflows. And then zoom all the way out to macro, and suddenly you're automating entire supply chains with AI-driven logistics platforms that can predict problems before they even happen.
All right, next up, B is for Bolster. Now, this is where things get really exciting. This is not about replacing people, it's about augmenting them, giving your teams AI-powered tools that let them achieve almost superhuman levels of creativity and insight. It's like giving everyone a superpower.
So what does this look like? Well, at the micro level, imagine giving your sales team an AI copilot that suggests the perfect next step to close a deal. At the meso level, you're bolstering your whole organization's decision-making with predictive analytics. And at the macro level, we're talking about bolstering entire industries, like using AI to augment healthcare and education across the board. And finally, we have C for coordinate. And honestly, this might be the most powerful lever of them all. This is about using AI like a master conductor of an orchestra, aligning every single part of a system, whether it's 2 people on a team or 2,000 companies in a supply chain, so that they all work in perfect, beautiful sync. Just think about this at the macro level for a second. You could use AI to align global supply chains toward a massive goal, like sustainability. Now zoom into the meso level. Here, you could coordinate all your departments, sales, marketing, ops, into a single unified nervous system. And then all the way down at the micro level, you could use AI to synchronize a remote team so everyone's aligned automatically, no more boring status meetings. That's real, systemic transformation.
Okay, now for a really important part, the dangers of imbalance. Because here's the critical insight, the big gotcha. Just picking one of these, automate, bolster, or coordinate, is not enough. In fact, focusing on just one can be incredibly dangerous. Real success comes from balancing all three.
So here's trap number 1. Let's say your goal is just to automate. Well, if you automate without also bolstering your people, you end up hollowing out your workforce. You get this super efficient machine that can't innovate. It's efficiency with no creative spark, and that's a really fragile place to be.
And trap number 2? What if your goal is just to bolster? Well, if you bolster without coordinating, you just create these little pockets of brilliance that don't talk to each other. You get innovation, sure, but it has no systemic impact. It's like having a bunch of amazing solo artists who can't play together as a band. It's innovation without scale.
And the final trap. What if you just try to coordinate? If you try to coordinate without automating first, you end up with structures that just crumble under their own weight. It's like building this beautiful, complex system that looks amazing on paper, but in reality, it's just bureaucracy without any speed. It's a powerful engine with no wheels to move it. Okay, so we've seen the dangers. How do we avoid them and actually put this framework to work? Let's dive into your AI leadership playbook. This is the how-to part. And the playbook is actually a pretty clear 4-step process. First, audit. Take a hard look at what you're doing now. Where are you automating but failing to bolster or coordinate? Second, pilot. Launch multi-scale pilots at the micro, meso, and macro levels to learn by doing. Third, embed it. Make automate, bolster, coordinate the 3 key questions for every single project. And finally, number 4, zoom. Train your leaders to zoom in and out using this grid to see the whole picture. So this all brings us to the final critical question for you. Are you going to just keep trying to patchwork AI into your business and, hope for survival? Or are you going to embrace a real roadmap, a real plan, and thrive fractally in this new age of AI? The choice, as always, is yours.